Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Matt, that is Kim, that's Alonso. We are talking Stranger Things Season 2. And in our last...
We're up to episode 4.
Right, we're up to episode 4, because last time, Will started smoking.
What?
Oh.
Mom, Will's smoking.
Smoking.
No, worse.
Right.
Yeah, Joy shows up at school. Will is having Shadow Monster all running through him. Yeah, she compares their two drawings and is like, really, what's going on? He talks about how it's like, it's a feeling, it's got him, but he can sort of, he has what they call the now memories of what's happening to it elsewhere. Hopper wants to ground Elle for having run off, and that does not go well.
And so when I gotta tell you, when he says, okay, you're grounded, I thought, well, what do you mean grounded? Like she already can't go out.
Yeah, how much further? But and I did get, I don't know if it was a deliberate Breakfast Club reference, but the no TV for a week, no TV for 2 weeks, the escalation of that reminded me of Bender and the Principal.
I will tell you, as a parent, that's what happens. Like I do that to Gabe. Maybe it's just me as a bad parent, but I'll say like, all right, no iPad for the rest of the day, and he keeps yelling. I'm like, all right, that's 2 days. You want to keep going? Now maybe that's me getting that from Breakfast Club, but
you're the worst.
I know, I'm the worst.
So Will is running an under 98 temperature and does not
significantly,
want to, very much so, yeah.
93,
and does not want to get in the hot bath because as we've come to learn, Slimy don't like the light, like the heat.
He likes the cold.
He likes the cold. Dart is getting bigger and bigger.
You should have killed that thing when you had a chance.
The kids are still searching for it because they don't know that Dustin snuck it off. So Lucas has to go in the dumpster.
Which we have to imagine, you've watched the whole thing, so have a poker face, but we have to imagine that's gonna blow up because they say as a group, one of the rules,
friends don't lie. Absolutely. There's that whole shower room scene between Billy and Steve. Maybe there's some sort of friendship happening there, but
friendship or attraction?
I don't know.
Because I thought, does he like Steve?
Look, it's a high school shower gym. Gym shower, anything could happen. But no, it's certainly shot that way, but I don't know. Billy is very vague at this point. We know he's bad news, but we don't know why. And
like he goes to pick him up after knocking him down. He's like, next time plant your feet, and then lets him go. Like
like that. We're still not clear what his dealio is. Jonathan and Nancy go to the park. They get nabbed by the lab people. They get taken to the lab where it turns out Nancy's got a tape recorder.
Nancy's smarter than you thought.
That's right.
So like, how do they not have like metal detectors at that lab? Like,
it's the 80s.
Metal detectors at the airport at that point. Like you would think.
I don't know. Maybe once you've got inside, they don't even.
That'll be season 3. They put metal detectors in.
Yeah, they'll learn something.
Nancy's not getting in here with the tape recorder again.
While Elle is cleaning house, she finds a trapdoor. She finds the Hawkins Lab box. She discovers information about her mother.
I expected she was going to find the box that said Sarah that we had seen
previously
Hopper
when they were
put away.
cleaning.
Oh, right.
Earlier.
Max gets pissed off because no one is telling her shit. Hopper realizes that what Will is drawing in the vision of the Shadow Monster are vines that go underneath the town. So he starts digging into in the field to get it. Elle finds her mother, who is sitting in a rocking chair, repeating the same stuff over and over again. Dart eats the cat.
Yeah.
And
should have killed that thing.
And exactly. And Hopper goes underneath, and he goes underneath. That's how that one ends.
Right. And then we get
the ending shot of this episode was so good. It should be a poster of Hopper upside down in the tunnel.
Yes.
I loved it, and I loved how the camera just went.
That was a really good one.
Well, and I like how the show has sort of established that, like, if you see shit floating in the air, that's when you know you're in the upside down.
Yes.
Yeah, and so we'll talk about episode 5 because as this leads right into things that happen, right? And a lot of this show goes right.
Sure. Yeah.
You can't just sit and watch the whole thing at once. Yeah, and Netflix is calling people who do that binge racers. Could they not have come up with a better term than binge racers? That's terrible. Anyway, one of my favorite kind of metatextual moments in the whole series is when,
Max.
you know what I'm talking about. Max gets the whole story, the whole scope of everything that's going on. She's like,
oh, it was this one.
She's like, yeah, it's okay.
A little derivative.
It's kind of derivative. I recognize a lot of things, but it's pretty good, right? I love
Max
that
is
moment.
the critic.
Right,
Yes.
Max the critic. That was awesome. That was awesome.
So meanwhile, Jonathan and Nancy are off road tripping to find a conspiracy guy to give him all the information. Hopper is stuck underneath and trying to figure stuff out, and he eventually figures out the whole, fire bad thing for those guys. Lucas gets relationship advice from his dad, which is like the woman is always right and always apologize. Dustin lays out the baloney to try and trap Dart. And then when Steve shows up at the house with flowers, he shanghais him to go help him out.
So I think that this is the episode the previous episode, because Dart turns around and opens his face, right? And we realize, oh, this is the baby demagorgon.
You've made a huge
Right.
mistake.
Right. And so Dustin suits up, which is super fun. This is actually, I think, my favorite episode of the season so far, having only watched these five so far. But I liked that moment. I liked that he got suited up and basically slap shots it into the storm cellar.
Yes.
So who knew Dustin was such a good hockey player?
I know.
I was very impressed.
They contain multitudes. I also like the conspiracy guy has a Carrie Matheson bulletin board with the yarn.
Yeah, I love that moment as he's drinking and he's like, "We gotta water it down." Like, that was right at the edge of not working for me, and it was like if they had like skirted right up against overplaying it. But I bought it.
Yeah,
I liked it, but I like Brett Gelman, so I'm gonna be more likely to accept it.
And then you've also got Bob figuring out, oh wait, this is a map, and then so like them hosts.
I like that a lot.
I love Bob the Brain because he does bring that extra set of skills that no one else
absolutely.
has.
He's an old nerd.
I think my favorite moment though was when 11 kind of gets in her mother's head and gets that whole backstory,
which is tragic.
And I think like as you get this flashback and you see what the word she's repeating means, it's, I started to think, oh my God, the horror of reliving that same few moments over and over again. And over for over a decade was heartbreaking. I found that really powerful. This was an episode that I felt had a lot of really strong, funny, engaging, and touching moments, and it continues to impress me with this show.
And funny, I liked Lucas's younger sister on the walkie-talkie. I thought was funny.
Oh yes, that was a good one too.
I got a code "shut up" for you. Also the thing with I figured the map is this season's Christmas lights.
Yes, they have to just wreck the Byers home every season.
Yes, no question.
But we can't just set the tunnels on fire because it'll hurt Will.
Because he's one of them.
And I do like Mike's parents. Like, our children don't live here anymore. That was
that
hilarious.
dad is so checked out.
That dad sucks.
Right? He makes me think of the dad in War Games.
Kinda, yeah.
Is he like the classic parent who just
hides behind the
ignores
newspaper.
And then the kids go on an adventure in every 80s movie?
Right, exactly, yes.
Right. The only difference is if he was in a Disney movie, he'd already be dead.
No, the mother would be dead.
Only in a cartoon, yes. But yeah, he is very archetypally 80s. And so this episode does end with the lab guys flamethrowering the latest Demogorgon, and Will not enjoying it. And that's where we leave off.
Yes, so we'll be back next week with more episodes, wrapping up the season 2 of Stranger Things. And if they do season 3, we'll probably be back for that one too.
They'll do season 3.
I'm sure
There's no way.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back.